Julia. Julia. Julia!
We're going to room 101.
What's in room 101?
You know what's in room 101, Winston. Everyone knows what's in room 101. There are 3 stages to your reintegration. There's learning, there's understanding, and there's acceptance. It is time for you to enter upon the 2nd stage. As you sit there, you have often wondered, you have even asked me, why the ministry of love should extend so much time and trouble on you. And when you were free, you were puzzled by what was essentially the same question. You could grasp the mechanics of the society you lived in, but not its underlying motives. You do remember writing in your diary, I understand how, but I do not understand why. It was when you thought about why that you doubted your sanity. You have read the book, Goldstein's book, or parts of it at least. Did it tell you anything that you did not know already?
You've read it?
I wrote it. That is to say, I collaborated in writing it. No book is produced individually, as you know.
Is it true? What it says?
As a description, yes. The program it sets forth is nonsense. The secret accumulation of knowledge, the gradual spread of enlightenment, ultimately a proletarian rebellion, the overthrow of the party. You foresaw yourself that that is what it would say. It's all nonsense. The proletarians will never revolt, not in 1,000 years or 1,000,000. They cannot. I do not have to tell you the reason. You know it already. If you have ever cherished any dreams of violent insurrection, you must abandon them. There's no way in which the party can be overthrown. The rule of the party is forever. Make that the starting point of your thoughts. And now, let us get back to the question of how and why. You understand well enough how the party maintains itself in power, but tell me why we cling to power. What is our motive? Why would we want power? Go on, speak.
You're ruling over us for our own good. You believe that human beings aren't fit to govern themselves, and therefore...
That was stupid, Winston. Stupid. You should know better than to say something like that. We are not interested in the good of others. We are interested solely in power. Not wealth or luxury or a long life of happiness, only power, pure power. The object of persecution is persecution. The object of torture is torture. The object of power is power. Now do you begin to understand? We are priests of power. God is power. But at present, power is only a word as far as you're concerned. It is time for you to gather some idea of what power means. The first thing that you need to know is that power is collective. The second thing for you to realize is that power is power over human beings. Over the body, but above all, over the mind. Power over matter, external reality as you would call it, is not important. Already our control over matter is absolute.
But how can you control matter? You don't even control the climate or the law of gravity. And there are disease, pain, death.
We control matter because we control the mind. Reality is inside the skull. You will learn by degrees, Winston. There's nothing that we cannot do. Invisibility, levitation, anything. I could float off this floor like a soap bubble if I wish to. I do not wish to because the party does not wish it. You must get rid of those 19th century ideas of laws of nature. We make the laws of nature.
But you do not. You're not even the masters of this planet. What about Eurasia and East Asia? You haven't even conquered them yet.
Unimportant. We can conquer them when it suits us. And if we do not, why does it matter? We can shut them out. Oceania is the world.
But the world is only a speck of dust, and man is tiny, helpless. How long has he been in existence? For millions of years the earth was uninhabited.
Nonsense! The world is as old as we are. How can it be any older? The world is only as old as human consciousness.
But rocks are filled with the bones of extinct animals, mammoths, mastodons, and enormous reptiles, which lived here long before man was ever heard of.
Have you ever seen those bones, Winston? Of course not. 19th century biologists invented them. Before man, there was nothing. After man, there will be nothing. Man is existence.
But the whole universe is around us. Look at the stars. They're millions of light years away, out of your reach forever.
What are stars? They're bits of fire a few kilometers away. We could reach them if we wanted to, or we could blot them out. The Earth is the center of the universe, and the sun and stars moves around it. I told you, Winston, that metaphysics is not your strong point. The real power, the power we have to fight for night and day, is not power over things, but power over men. How does man assert his power over another, Winston?
By making them suffer.
Exactly. By making him suffer. Obedience is not enough unless he is suffering. How can you be sure that he's obeying your will and not his own? Power is inflicting pain and human manipulation. Power is tearing human minds to pieces and putting them back together again in new shapes of your own choosing. Do you begin to see then what kind of world we are creating? It is the exact opposite of the stupid, hedonistic utopias that the old reformers imagined. A world of fear and treachery and torment. A world of trampling and being trampled upon. A world which will grow not less but more merciless as it refines itself. Progress in our world will be progress towards more pain. And if you want a picture of the future, imagine a boot stopping on the human face forever. And remember that it is forever. The face will always be there to be stomped upon. The heretic, the enemy of society, will always be there. So he can be defeated and humiliated over again. You're beginning, I can see, to realize what the world will be like. But at the end, you'll do more than understand it. You'll accept it, welcome it, become a part of it.
You can't!
What do you mean by that remark, Winston?
You cannot create a world as you have just described. It is a dream. It is impossible.
Why not, Winston?
It is impossible to found a civilization on fear, hatred, and cruelty. It would never endure.
Why?
It would have no vitality. It would disintegrate. It would commit suicide.
Nonsense. You're under the impression that hatred is more exhausting than love. And if it is, what difference does it make?
I don't know. I don't care. Somehow you will fail. Something will defeat you. Life will defeat you.
We control life, Winston, at all its levels. You're imagining that there is something called human nature, which will be outraged by what we do and will turn against us. But we are creating human nature. Men are infinitely malleable.
I don't care. In the end, they will defeat you. They'll see you for what you truly are and tear you to pieces.
Winston, do you see any evidence that this is happening? Or that it should be?
No. I believe it. I know that you will fail. There's something in the universe, some spirit, some principle that you will never overcome.
Do you believe in God, Winston?
No.
Then what is it? What is this principle that we will not be able to overcome?
I don't know. The spirit of man.
And do you consider yourself a man?
Yes.
If you're a man, Winston, then you're the last man. Your kind is extinct, and we are the inheritors. Do you understand that you are alone? You are outside history. You are non-existent. And you consider yourself morally superior to us with our lies and cruelty?
Yes, I consider myself superior.
You asked me once what was in room 101. I told you that you already knew the answer. Everyone knows it. The thing that is in room 101 is the worst thing in the world. The worst thing in the world varies from person to person. It could be being buried alive. It could be death by fire, or drowning, or being impaled. Or it could be something trivial that's not even fatal. In your case, the worst thing in the world is rats.
No. You can't do that. You couldn't. You couldn't. It's impossible. O'Brien! This isn't necessary. What is it you want me to do?
By itself, pain is not enough. There are instances where people will stand out against pain, even to the point of death. And you will do what is required of you.
What is it? What is it? How can I do it if I don't know what it is?
The rat, although a rodent, is carnivorous. You are aware of that. You all heard of the things that happen in the poor quarters of this town. In some streets, a woman dare not leave her baby alone in the house, even for 5 minutes. The rats are certain to attack it.
Julia! Julia!